So what do you think is the biggest cultural topic that Christians need to wake up and speak up about right now?
I can think of several things, but one of them that certainly comes to my mind is education, the importance of education, real education. And I think we've lost sight of what it is. I think that we've bought this bucket of lies that education is so important that only licensed, trained professionals can do it. And so we farmed our kids off to other people who
Yes.
have the licenses, bureaucrats and teachers and counselors and all this stuff that label our kids with all these letters like ADD and ADHD, and you have anxiety attachment disorder, and you've got this problem and that problem, and you need to take Ritalin and this drug, and you need to, stop listening to your parents because they're Christians. They believe in fairy tales like creation and dinosaurs, lived with people and all kinds of other things. And we're losing our culture. We're losing our children. We're losing our liberties and everything. So I've been focusing a lot on teaching children. I think that is the key to the future. I think that if we want to have hope for our future generations, we've got to recapture education. And here's why I think so. Noah Webster was one of our founding fathers. He was also the father of American education. Noah Webster gave us Webster's Dictionary. And he said this, really, really great quote. He said, every civil government is based on some religion or philosophy of life, and the education of that nation will propagate the religion of that nation. He said, now in America, that foundational religion was Christianity, and it was sown into their hearts for 200 years through the home and the school, both public and private. Our liberty, our prosperity, and our growth is the result of a biblical way of life. He said, and the future of our success and freedom depends, therefore, on educating the youth of America in the principles of Christianity. The national monument to the forefathers, our pilgrims, fathers and mothers, said that it was education that is necessary to pass on our faith and our morality and our godly laws to the next generation, or liberty is one generation away from extinction.
Right.
So if you can get to the kids and tell them the stories, if you can be the one who shapes their heart and their mind, you have a chance to create a beautiful story for them in the future, like a real life story. And I think that God has told us this over and over and over, but we let other voices become more important, and we get distracted and we forget. If I could close with just this last quote from Aslan in the silver chair of the Chronicles of Narnia, as he's talking to Jill Pole. The land of Narnia is frozen over by the wicked queen, and he's about to blow life and like springtime back into this frozen wilderness. And he says to Jill, he says, now stand still. And he says, in a moment I will blow, but first remember the signs. He said, say them to yourself when you wake in the morning, when you lie down to sleep at night, and when you wake in the middle of the night. No matter what strange things happen to you, never let anything turn your mind from the signs. Follow the signs, believe the signs, and remember the signs. Nothing else matters. And Deuteronomy tells parents the exact same thing with regard to educating their children. These commands that I give you today, get them down inside of your heart. In other words, remember them. They didn't have ESV Bibles to follow along with Moses when he's telling them this out in the wilderness. He said, put them in your heart, hide it in your heart. Remember the signs that I'm telling you, and then teach them to your children. When? When you wake up in the morning, when you go to sleep at night, when you're sitting in your house and you're walking along the way. No matter what happens, don't forget the signs. Believe them and follow them. And then Aslan said, then Lewis said, but Jill did not remember. And she and her friends got into trouble. And that's what's happened to us. We've forgotten the signs that God said to take and tie them like signs and symbols on your wrists, on your hands, to your forehead. Bind them to the doorposts in your home and on your gates.
Yep.
And in our families, in our communities, and in our nation, we had those signs bound everywhere. But we've taken prayer out of schools and the 10 Commandments out of courthouses. We don't pray together as families. Churches are now no longer loyal to the Word of God, and they're taking the traditions of men and replacing the commandments of God.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten ourselves into trouble.
Yeah.
If we can get education back, I think we can save the country.